Today we're going to do goat's cheese, pinenut and oven roasted tomato charlotte.
Oh, lovely. And these are the tomatoes.
Well, yeah, I'm going to use beef tomato because I think it's got more flesh inside in it, and it holds together better. It'll shrink a lot in the roasting, so it's got a lot more left. So I'm just going to slice some pretty thick slices off this.
So you just take the seeds out?
And we're going to have to take the seeds out of all of these, yeah, it's no problem.
It's a fabulous colour, isn't it?
It's a beautiful tomato, very ripe tomato. It's fantastic. I think it's a local tomato.
So we've got our tomatoes. And we're taking the seeds out and...
Okay, we're just going to lightly oil them.
Sure.
Great. Splash on the tray.
And do you need a little bit more oil over top?
A sprinkling.
Okay.
It's not that important, really. It's great.
Good olive oil, huh?
And a little bit of seasoning, black pepper, and some cracked salt. There we go.
Okay.
And into the oven with that.
What temperature would you roast them?
It can be either high or low, but a medium temperature is best, maybe half an hour or so. So I've got some goat's cheese here. This one's a lovely ripe Saint Tola, which is actually an organic Irish goat's cheese. It's a beautiful cheese. So we'll just put the cheese in there.
And you could do this by hand if you didn't have a food processor, couldn't you?
You could do it with a potato masher, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So we've got the cream cheese going in, and the goat's cheese is in, and then...
And we're going to add some garlic.
Okay.
4 to 6 cloves. I've got 4 here because they're quite big.
Big fat
so
cloves.
Straight in as well.
And...
A couple of eggs. Just bring everything together, make a mash of it really in a way. Then we get some egg white. And
how many egg whites is that, Denis?
There's 2 whole eggs in there and there's 3 egg whites then. That lightens it.
Okay.
So it doesn't sit there as a heavy cake. So while it's running, we pour in the egg whites. There we go. Then we can check the consistency of it. We need it to be a thick, like a very, very thick pouring consistency. In fact, that's almost at that already.
Oh, very good.
What we need to finish it is just a tiny little splash of cream if you think it's a little too thick, and I'd like to just bring that down a little more.
Okay.
A little bit of cream.
Give it another whiz?
Yeah, just another second. There we go. That's
now, here's some tomatoes that we've done earlier.
Into this, we're also going to put the pine nuts. They go into the custard. The pine nuts, I roasted earlier, just very lightly toasted them. So there we go. And a little bit of chopped basil. Now we'll take our prettiest tomato slice, I think this one, and we'll put that on the bottom so that it fills the bottom of the ram. So we have that one in there. We'll put a couple of tablespoons of custard.
So we've got, we're going for a multi-layer. We've got the tomato.
We've got 2 layers of tomato, 2 layers of custard, and we'll go again. Get a 3rd layer in. It's important to have a lot of tomato in it, otherwise you are dealing with that big, heavy feed of goat's cheese. There we go.
And so with some hot water.
If you bring it up to about halfway.
Halfway, okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, so that's going into a hot oven. What temperature about?
Well, 350 Fahrenheit. And that'll just hold the water at boiling temperature, and that'll be perfect. Okay, well they'll need to sit for 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
Before we can risk turning them out. So, but while they're sitting, we can go ahead and finish the rest of the dish.
Okay.
We have some lentils, which some puy lentils, which have just finished boiling.
Okay.
They're just barely boiled to al dente. So they're just finished, so we're just going to drain those, put them back in the pot.
Do you want me to drain those for you?
Yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be great.
Okay.
Now we're going to do the spinach.
Okay.
Just going to wilt it off in some olive oil.
A bit of oil.
So we've got a hot pan, good splash of
very hot pan.
Olive oil, very hot indeed. Just drop the spinach in.
Okay.
Maybe about that much. And we just keep it moving. Just as it comes to the end of the cooking, season it with black pepper and a little bit of salt. There you go. If it was a coarser spinach, you might need to occasionally throw in a splash of water, but this stuff definitely isn't going to need any of that. So that's done. Just leave it on the side for a second while we finish the lentils.
And what all have we got in the lentils?
We've put basil oil, very, very strong olive oil with a lot of basil blended into it. Just maybe a tiny drop more into
Finish
that.
it up.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's great. And again, plenty of seasoning. Lentils can take plenty of seasoning. Okay, they're ready to go.
Are you ready to plate?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's start getting them on the plate.
Yep. I've got some polenta that we've grilled off earlier.
There we go. Start with the spinach. There we go. That's it.
Beautiful glossy spinach.
Fantastic stuff. Now we have to turn out
this is the tough part, isn't
and
it?
you never quite know for certain whether. I'm just going to run the back of a knife around. Oh, it's a bit hot. Around the outside of that. Make sure that it's loose.
Okay.
And just pick it up. There we go. Now I'm going to just invert it onto a plate before I transfer it.
Now, this is where you have a wee prayer.
Well, it usually comes out, but we'll take a look at this one and see what we've got. There we go.
Ooh,
there we go.
Look at that.
That's it. It's a beauty.
Beautiful.
Actually, it's very important at this point to remember to take off the piece of paper. Now, rest on top of the spinach.
Tomato. Okay, and then we've got your poi lentils.
Poi lentils with the lots of basil oil. This is a sauce for the dish, really, so there's a lot of oil in it, and just a scattering of lentils. And finally, finish this with some grilled polenta, which we grilled earlier. So that's it. Goat's cheese, pine nut, and oven roasted tomato charlotte.